how did it evolve to what it is now? Was it a vision? Was it a slow, sort of a gradual increase in numbers? And
yeah, I mean, it was about as slow as it gets. When I was a young teenager, I was getting no views, had no money, had no equipment. And so for the most part, it was just like, I was just trying to scrounge money so I could buy equipment because I was using my brother's old laptop. And so like my first couple hundred videos, I didn't have a microphone. Like imagine just like crackly, terrible voice. And so once I got monetized, I saved up for a few months. Like I told you, I bought a microphone. I can just give you a mile high history. And I saved up for like 6 months. I mean, I was just doing video game videos, and they were terrible. But I saved up. I got a real computer. So now I could actually record the video game in high quality. I have a microphone. I'm like 15. And I just kept going and going. Up until 18, I had been doing YouTube pretty religiously, but I was making no money. Like this is kind of the turning point was when I graduated from high school. And my whole life, I was like, I want to be making enough money by the time I graduated to do this full time. And I wasn't. I was still only making a couple $100 a month. So I graduated high school and my mom was like, either move out or go to a community college. And I didn't have enough money to move out, but I hated school with a passion. But she forced me to go to community college, and that was the worst thing ever. Like that made me hate life. I just can't stand like having to just sit there and listen to this dumb stuff and listen to some teacher read out a book. So what I did was I would act like I was going to community college, but I would just work on videos in my car and edit and stuff like that. I had straight zeros, and so now the clock had started because once my mom found out, I was screwed.
Were you aware of that? Like, that you're running a risk?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I would act like I was going to college that whole time, but I wasn't. And I didn't have enough money to move out. And that was kind of when I was just like 15 hours a day, all in. I was like, I'm fucked if this doesn't work. And I had some videos pop off. I couldn't tell you which ones, but I had a month where I made 20 grand because I just had some videos just do really, really well. And then I came home and I was like, yeah, I haven't been going to college, and I moved out the next day. My mom almost had a heart attack because she didn't understand YouTube or anything back then, and she was like, man, this guy's gonna work at McDonald's. I wasted all this time. Like I invested 18 years, and this is what I get.
Where were you living? What part of the country?
North Carolina. That's where I've lived almost my whole life.
And so, how does she feel now?
Oh, she's great.
Is she like
she's beyond happy. Yeah, she loves it. You know, put her in front of her friends. She loves talking about it. She obviously.
I always knew little Jimmy was gonna be a success.
No, she doesn't try to hide it. We would fight all the time. Even in high school, like, you know, I never once studied. I literally wouldn't even take my books home. Like I legit don't think I studied once all of high school at my house. And so we would fight a lot. I didn't have the best grades, and so I would just make videos, and she didn't understand it, especially because back then it was just a whole different world. Like, there wasn't really a thing as a full-time YouTuber and stuff, and so there's a lot of arguments, a lot of drama, but it ended up working out. She's happy.
The thing is, it's like nobody saw this coming, right? So you can't blame her.
Oh, dude, especially me in like the middle of North Carolina in a small town. I had like horrible acne. I'm you know, especially back then, really awkward. It's like people would have bet $1 million that I wouldn't be a YouTuber. You know, it makes no sense. But I have, you know, hyper obsession, and I love this. And, you know, you give it enough time, anyone can solve it.